Next to the stage, four very handsome gentlemen. Mr. DJ Qualls, Chris Gauthier, Osric, Chau, and Gil McKinney!
We can make it if we try, just the four of us. You and I, just the four of us. Building castles in the sky, just the four of us. You and I.
Hey guys, how's it going?
That was cool.
Thank you, Rob. That was great.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Billy.
Thank you.
Mike.
Thanks, Billy.
Gordon.
Thanks, whatever
Bye,
your
guys.
name is.
Whatever your name is.
That guy. And
Hi, guys.
The other guy and the drummer. What's up?
Hi.
This is going great.
Hey. Sleepy. I'm sleepy today, I'm sorry.
You didn't sleep last night, did you?
I did.
We talked about this.
We did.
Did my voice just crack?
Yeah, I did.
We talked about this yesterday. Puberty sucks.
Slept really
It's
well.
sleep talk.
We talked
The night
about this
before.
yesterday, you stayed up late.
Last night I stayed up pretty late. I got like 5 hours.
Yeah.
We went gambling.
Yeah.
Biggie Qualls and I went gambling.
Isn't that a great name? He calls me Biggie Qualls. I'm going to take that.
It's good. Chris, you gambled last night?
Yeah, and I didn't win, predictably.
High roller?
Penny slots, so yeah.
Penny slots, yeah. That makes sense.
We played penny slots for like 2 hours.
Nice.
What was your game?
It was like 12 free game thing. I don't know what it was called, but we found
Penny slots, but it was like you could win
guys-
12
you guys-
free games.
like
guys sat
12
next
free
to each
plays.
other?
We did.
Yeah,
guys
there was
sat
like a love seat thing, and I sat next to him.
Like an old couple.
And he was hilarious. He was like, "Are you sure these drinks are free?" I'm like, "Everything is free. We have $10 in this machine.
Nothing's
It's famous."
free where I come from. Nothing is free. So I'm like, are you sure? He's like, totally, dude, watch. And they were free, trust me. There were like 7 of them free.
You know what? The coronavirus is good for gambling with free drinking because nobody's in the casino, and so you cannot get a free drink at penny slots. You can't do it because usually you're out of credits by the time they get back, and you're probably not going to tip well because you're playing penny slots. But we had like 4 cocktail waitresses on us, and I was like, "This is the best night ever." But we both lost. It's for entertainment purposes only, though.
Were you drinking whiskey sours, Chris?
How'd you know?
How many did you have?
7? I think I had 7.
Really, 7?
Yeah, I think so.
7 whiskey sours.
It was a light night.
Why couldn't
I wasn't going
stop?
hard.
Why couldn't I stop at 2 or 3?
Because I see that sweet nectar and I'm like, just bring it.
I've never seen a grown man drink whiskey sours like Chris Gauthier.
Do whiskey sours have a maraschino cherry in them?
2.
Oh.
I like your style.
Is that a kid drink?
No, it's not. I'm not saying it's a pink drink. I would say it's
A kid
it's just
drink.
A very
A
sweet,
kid drink?
very sweet drink.
A kid drink? Yes, if
I
you're...
don't think
Like a
kids drink
20-year-old.
whiskey
Yeah.
sours.
It's a kid drink if you were born in Appalachia.
I thought it was very sophisticated.
It's a great drink. It's.
Are you more of an old-fashioned fella?
Well, my favorite.
With that lemon
my drink
twist
is
in
the
it?
old fashioned.
Is it really?
Is that
You're
your
kind of an
drink?
old-fashioned
I
guy.
love
Old-fashioned?
old fashioned, man. Bourbon.
I feel
All right.
I feel like Gil when we talk about D&D. Like I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right,
You talk about anime, and we talk about drinking.
I know. I'm like, I've never had alcohol in my life. So I'm like, wow, what is?
Are
that?
you serious?
Yeah, never.
You want to try it, man?
No.
Chris.
I don't think.
he has a
Let's
flask
do
in his
this.
boot.
My hip flask in my boot.
I don't know if I'd want to see Osric drunk.
Now,
I do.
I don't even drink juice these days. I just stick with water.
Oh.
Like if I'm really feeling crazy, I'll go for a sparkling water.
Ooh, getting crazy.
Dude, whoever gets your kidneys next has won the lottery.
I know. Like if I'm at a.
Are you an organ donor?
No, I'm not.
Oh, darn it.
I'd be a really good one. I
Dude,
think-
be an organ donor.
I
If you
think
treat your organs
I
the way
get
you...
picked off really quickly.
Yeah.
No, not only that, you're probably wound up by taking one of your organs.
Well, actually, recently I got my blood tested, and the doctor looked at my blood, and it was like perfectly clear. He's like, "This is the cleanest blood I've ever seen in my career."
Your blood was clear?
Yeah.
don't know if that's
It was
blood.
so clear. It's clear.
Straight plasma,
Well, because
baby.
they were getting the platelets out of it, so they put them in this centrifuge thing.
right.
And he's like, what do you, it's like, no, don't smoke, don't drink, like vegan, pretty much. And
Are you athletic as well? Do you?
Yeah, I exercise, yeah. They got really clean blood.
So if you're ever in an accident and they try to
See
give you
if you ever
somebody
need my
else's
blood.
blood, just
Yeah.
go, call.
Somebody whack Osric.
Okay.
You don't want my blood. That stuff's not going to be clear. That's gonna have traces of whiskey sour in it. And Gil's gonna stand there laughing at it like that dude from The Simpsons.
Your blood is neon.
It's like Mountain Dew.
That's alien blood right there. Should we open up to the questions? We got.
I feel like we
lines
should.
forming.
I
Sure.
feel like we should. Which side should we go to first? I always ignore this. I always ignore this side and go there first. So I'm gonna still ignore this
Yeah,
side
do
and go
that.
there first.
All right.
Hi.
Hi. I was wondering if all your characters were in a band together, what would the genre of music be?
Oh, that's good.
Wait, who wants to do what?
Speed metal.
Who wants to what?
Who wants to do what? Like, we got a band set up.
I'll play the bass. I'll do the bass.
All right, I call drums then.
You're gonna be vocals for sure, right?
Yeah.
Which leaves me on guitar.
Default.
But what genre would we be?
I think if you average this all together, it'd be hair metal.
Hair metal, really? Wait, what's your favorite genres? We had a brief discussion about.
Gil's a crooner, right? You
Yeah,
like
but if
crooner
we're
music.
gonna have a band, if we're gonna have a rock band.
It's gonna be rock. It's gonna be rock.
I'm very much in the emo rock section.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. So what would you be?
Yeah,
I'd be like bluesy rock.
bluesy rock.
Hair metal then. Hair metal's also huge in Canada.
Huge in Canada.
Yeah.
You know that you have to have an excellent falsetto for hair metal.
You also
Do
need,
you have an excellent falsetto?
we need more hair though.
Can you do a good falsetto?
Can Gil do a falsetto?
Can we get a sample?
Can we ask a singer to sing?
Oh my God!
Hair metal. The answer to your question is hair metal.
Hair
metal band.
It's been deduced.
Kick me in the nuts one more time. Thank you so much for your question. We're not
Thank
playing
you.
the world's crappiest game show today because I left my bag backstage. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Good. How are you?
What is the craziest thing you ever had to do to get a role and or in the role itself?
Wait, what was the second?
This is a casting couch question.
Wait, what was the second part of that question?
What was the second part?
You made this gesture away from the mic. So does this go into your question?
So, craziest thing we had to do to get a role and then?
Why did everybody jump up for this?
Okay,
I was the only one sitting, so I said I'm gonna go back.
Or
What's the second?
actually during the role itself, or in the role itself?
Oh, okay. Craziest thing to get a role and then the actual role itself.
Or is it and or?
Or.
Oh, so craziest role thing you've ever had to do to get a
And.
role, or the craziest thing you had to do after you got the role?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the craziest thing I've ever had to do to get a role. You know that I'm from the Hollywood years, like 20 years ago. Like I started 20 years ago. Things were much
They didn't
different.
have rules.
The rules were much different. I have been propositioned before by a male producer early in my career.
Whoa.
That's why I'm here right now. No.
God bless you.
I didn't do it.
Not touching it.
The craziest thing I ever had to do when I got a role is that when I was in Fargo, I had to jump off a bus on its side, wearing a pig mask that completely obscured my vision. And because I looked nothing like the stunt guy they cast for me in Calgary, the director came over to me and he was like, darling, come here, darling, I just talked to you. And I was like, he's gonna make me jump off this bus, you watch. And it's high. I mean, we're like a good 9-10 feet off the ground, and he wanted it to be like just one of these.
What were you landing on?
The concrete. It's a white shot.
On concrete?
Right? So it's 3 stunt doubles, the other actors who are bigger than me, their stunt doubles look physically like them. This guy looks nothing like me, right? So he comes over and I'm like, I can't do this, man. I'm scared. And then my brain said this, if I had some gloves on, I think I could do this. I don't know why, but it was
What
just,
the hell?
I swear to God.
Makes sense, yeah.
Just give me the super gloves,
I
guys.
need a crutch. They gave me gloves. My character was not wearing gloves. Because we climb up out of the bus. It's turned off. We turned a prison bus over. I climb up to a hatch, and suddenly I've got on gloves. I jump down and made it, and suddenly I don't have gloves anymore. But then we shot a scene we shot the scene before we climbed up, and the bus had turned over, and I stepped over a stuntman that looked exactly like me, but they didn't hire him to pay me. But I didn't have to have sex with anybody for that role.
Good job, DJ.
For that one, how about the other one?
You go.
Yeah, that's, no, I got nothing.
Mine was probably, I lit my arm on fire one time. You dip your hand into this bucket of gel and they say, if you feel any warmth, like, get them to douse you right away because you're burning. Like, so I stuck my hand in this gel, they lit my arm on fire, and then I ended up having to jump into this duck pond on a golf course. It was humiliating.
That was all before shooting.
That was before shooting. That was just to get me warmed up.
What was that show? What was the movie?
It was a movie called The Foursome.
Ooh.
And it's not that, you guys.
What is it?
It was a golf movie called The Foursome.
The foursome.
It's like us.
That sounds like a great
And it was
Foursome.
Kevin Dillon was the lead in that one.
Oh, right on.
But he was like, I promise you'll only have to do it once. And then as soon as I was finished, and the worst part was that there was duck poop, and duck poop is the worst. It's like
Duck poop's the worst?
Is it flammable?
Of all the poops?
it'll make you very, very sick.
Market research says that duck poop is the worst of all the poops.
That checks out,
It is.
actually.
It is.
It's like constant diarrhea for ducks.
It's probably like worse than avian bird
Too
flu if
far.
you swallow any of that. So I jumped in, he goes, you only have to do it once, and I jumped in, and then he's like, you know what, we started rolling a little bit late, can you do it one more time? I was like, hell no. But I did it.
14 more times.
Once more. And then I said, get me a whiskey sour.
With 3 cherries, bitch.
3 maraschines.
I don't know if I've ever had to do anything crazy to get a role, and then I've done a lot of weird shit. The one that comes to mind, I worked on a show called The Loop. It was a short-lived sitcom, and the episode I did was called Bear Drop Soup. And my character meets the lead girl, and they hit it off, and then they go on a date, and they end up in a hot tub together. And he takes his clothes off, and he's just got ridiculous body hair, like his entire body. It's just covered, like he looks like a bear.
This is your character?
This is my character. So they crafted an entire hair suit, like skin with hair in it for my entire body. I did a full body mold, and then they put this thing on me. It was disgusting.
Where can we see this?
Did they leave little places for your nipples?
I don't even know if they did. I think probably.
Even covered up his belly button.
I made sure my nipples were exposed.
Yeah. Like, read page 34 of my contract.
And then
Expose the nipples.
we get to shooting, and we're in the hot tub, and I'm with this gorgeous actress, and we're in a hot tub, and I'm thinking this is going to be a great day. And then we get in the hot tub, and we're in the hot tub all day.
And you're wearing a wet hair suit.
Hair is floating in the hot tub.
Yeah, but
I hate hair.
look on the bright side, there was no duck poop in that hot tub, I bet.
There might have been.
There might have been.
You're American, right?
Yes.
See, that's the difference. They put y'all on duck poop. They really do. People are mean. They're mean to Canadian actors.
They sure are.
They really, and that's no lie. Ty Olsen's my best friend. They make him do mean things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be like this. Is that duck poop? I'm not doing that.
We're like, okay, thanks, eh?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, did you want to know?
I love you.
I don't know if I've had to do any. I think the weirdest thing that has happened for me was so before going to America. So I'm from Canada. I went to China first and lived in Beijing for a little bit. And my first project in America, I actually sent a self-tape in. I was in Hong Kong, and the casting director needed a self-tape. They were looking for this 16-year-old Asian kid, and they couldn't find it. And so the casting director emailed me directly. I sent in a tape, and then within 5 minutes, she's like, "Can you fly to LA?" And that was like the first big thing for me. So I flew myself to LA, like spent all my money, went into the casting, and I went like 3-4 times, different chemistry reads and everything. And one of the last times, the producer and director, they're like, "Hey man, we just got to say, like, we are so impressed with your English. Like, we wouldn't be able to tell if like that you came from China." Because I had flown in from China specifically to do the audition. And I was like, "Man, I'm doing really good. I probably shouldn't say anything." So I didn't say anything that first time, but eventually I'm like, "Oh, I'm actually Canadian, but my English is pretty good too." So.
But your Chinese is terrible.
My Chinese is terrible.
Your Chinese accent is terrible, apparently.
Oh my
too.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Is it really bad?
It's really bad.
All right.
No, it's bad. We're going this side.
Okay, hi guys, my name's Alyssa.
Hi, Alyssa.
Hi. So my question is, if you were to go on a road trip with your character, where would you go and what would you see?
Ooh, that's a good question. I really wish this was the world crappiest game show right now. That's a good question.
That is a good question. Our character. I think Kevin would go to DC. I think he'd like to go to DC. There's a lot of museums there. There's a lot of history, a lot of politics. He wanted to be the first Asian American president of the United States. There, I think that's where he would go.
I think me and Gauthier go to Dollywood. Don't you agree with that? We probably would go to Dollywood. Ride some rides, hear some music. Probably, yeah.
I think Ronald would probably just spend his time doing escape rooms.
Oh my God, I love escape rooms.
He'd be good at them, man. I think he'd be incredible, and he'd get the world record for the most escape rooms.
Did you know that the Red Bull has a world championship of escape rooms?
Oh my God. Is there anything they won't do?
No. I went through that wormhole a couple of nights ago. It's fine now.
Shit, I don't know. I would drive Henry to Vancouver and put him back on the show. Get your ass in there. We got kids to feed. Okay. Well, I got one on the way.
Congratulations! No, I didn't know that.
Hey,
Congratulations.
have we met?
Come here.
That's close enough.
Congratulations. buddy.
They just touched. They just touched.
We killed the coronavirus with the whiskey sours.
It's a good color.
Thank you. You too.
Hey, where'd DJ go?
I have a question.
Where?
Has anybody seen a white gold diamond ring? I lost one yesterday. It's square with diamonds in it. It's not in my pocket like my phone was last night at game night. Apparently, between my meet and greet and coming on stage, about 30 minutes of my life I can't account for. So if you found a white gold diamond ring, it's mine, I'll reward you. If you see anyone wearing one matching the description, tackle them, just in case it's mine.
I'm pretty sure he's wearing it. It's just not on his
I'm not
finger.
wearing it, it's nowhere to be found, and I thank you guys for taking photos of me during the world's crappiest game show yesterday, because it wasn't on my hands, and that was Exhibit A. Okay, so what's your question?
Ronald could have told you that.
Yeah. Try calling my ring. That's a really good idea.
DJ has been looking for it all morning.
It's gonna be hard for me if I lose that ring.
We're on this side?
We're on that side. Well, that was DJ's question.
No, but we're gonna.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna still let her ask.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
All right, so Osric, you got to join the Arrowverse, which was very, very exciting.
Yeah.
If
What is
you
The Arrowverse.
Yeah.
If you feel like letting us know if we're going to see more of you, that's totally cool. Would any of you, like if you were able to join a superhero show, what kind of character or hero would you want to play?
Oh, that's good.
I was already the toy man on Smallville. And I had a crap ton of fun playing a villain. I don't get to play villains any.
No.
Toy Man. What's his power? Like Santa Claus, but evil?
Kind of. This is the best thing about him. He has no discernible powers. He's just deranged.
just hide your children.
And he's
Here
like a
comes the toy
major.
man.
Yeah.
Wait, what
Hide
kind
your
of
children.
what kind of toys does he like?
Like things that blow up, so I almost blow up Green Arrow.
Oh,
and I
okay.
say, because they fashioned this monkey that apparently I made and it was a bomb, and it clapped, And so originally in the script, I say something like, after this monkey claps his hand 3 times, you will blow up or something. But they got one and they didn't modify it, so it claps like this. And so I had to say in the script, we wrote it, and I had to say, after this monkey claps his hands together 67 times. It was the dorkiest thing in the world.
That is awesome.
But I had so much fun playing a villain, because normally my characters should have tuba music in the background, like so it was nice to play something a little more sinister. So definitely I'd play a villain again. In what universe? It would be maybe Arrow. Maybe the Arrowverse.
They just finished. I know. Oh, okay. Arrow.
It's over, right? It's over.
It's done.
They got a spin-off, you're right.
I don't know.
Come on, Gil.
I mean, I would love to be a superhero of some sort, but I'd probably get cast as a villain, I think.
What?
You'd be a hero.
You kidding?
I don't know. I tend to get stuff sometimes. Well, maybe he seems like he's good, but then there's something hidden underneath, that sort of thing. That's kind of what I get.
Have you seen The Boys?
The Boys? Yes.
Is it good? I really
You'd
want
be
to
like
see
the
that.
fish guy.
See, I was thinking more of a Homelander. But
What?
you want to put your hands?
That Gil scene was
The Gil
great.
scene. The Gil scene. The Gil scene. I can see you do.
I don't only breathe through these. Oh God.
I don't know what any of these words mean.
We'll tell you later.
That's fine.
I was cast in the original Wolverine movie, but was released from my contract on the flight to Sydney to shoot it because they wrote the character out. So I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
What was the character?
A beak, the guy who emits radio waves, and it turned him into like this sort of chicken creature. So I had to go through all this darn body molding, and then they made all the prosthetics, and they replaced me. They wrote the character out, and thank God the movie was terrible. It was the first one that Gavin Hood directed.
Oh, yeah.
And they put in the kid from Lord of the Rings and made him a different character. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you stay in Sydney for a little while? Or?
No, I got right back on a plane and went home.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, it was bad for me.
Long flight.
I was mad. They paid me though, and I get residuals from it still.
What?
Yeah,
good.
they have to. They made a contract. I also was replaced. Well, not replaced. They ran out of money to shoot my scenes in Steven Soderbergh's movie, Logan Lucky or something like that.
Lucky number
Yeah,
7?
I was supposed to play his grandfather in some flashbacks, and they didn't shoot that, so they had to pay me, and I get residuals from it.
Brilliant.
Wow. All right. That's a gig.
Nice work if you can get it.
Hi.
Hi. First off, The Loop is on Hulu for anybody that needs to watch the
Thank you.
Was that show set in Chicago?
Yeah.
It was.
I was
And
talking about the
who
Loop,
was the lead of it? He was on
Brett
Grounded for Love. Yeah, Brett.
Brett something.
He's a Scientologist.
I don't know about
I
that.
think he is. Okay.
Yeah.
And my question is for Osric.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about Empty by Design and how that came about and how it was to make it?
Oh. So Empty by Design is the first feature film that I ever produced and starred in. I did it 2 years ago, and it was a trip. Do you guys produce at all?
Oh, I just opened a production company. We just sold our first script.
Whoa! Congratulations! So that is like such a hard thing to do. So I absolutely commend you. And I was kind of in this funk from a filmmaking perspective. I had done this movie that I hated. I hated it so much. I felt I disagreed with every creative decision, and turns out the whole thing was a farce. And I just felt so burned from that experience that I needed to take my career into my own hands. And so I basically said to myself, like, okay, if I'm gonna do shit projects, it's gonna be my own shit project. And I found I know. That's where it started. And then I got a group of friends together, and I'm like, hey, let's just do this thing. And I moved in with a new roommate. She wanted to be a director. I wanted to produce and act. I'm like, all right, like, what do you want to do? And she told me, like, I don't know, I want to make movies. I'm like, okay, but like think about it. Like, if you really get down to the core of it, like, what is it that you want out of directing? And she's like, well, I want to go home, right? And she's from the Philippines, so right there and then I'm like, well, we're gonna do a movie in the Philippines this summer. And I just said it. And like right after that, we started going to all these events, and I would tell everybody I came across, like, hey, we're doing a movie in the Philippines. And we hadn't even started on scripting or anything yet. I just kept saying it, and she she suffers from anxiety and nervous breakdowns and stuff, and she kind of flipped out. But to her credit, like, we just got into that mindset. She wrote the first draft in a month. Like, we got into the second draft, and before you know it, like, I'm still telling everyone we're doing this movie in the Philippines. We pulled the full team together. We have a script we all agree on, and we're trying to raise money, but we can't get anyone to fully jump the gun. We had all this momentum, and it came to this point. We gave ourselves a deadline. If we can't raise the money here, we have to make some kind of decision. Past the deadline, still a lot of interest, but no one's giving us the green light. And we make the decision to fly one way to the Philippines with no money to try to make this movie. Within 2 weeks, we raised 4 times the amount of money we were trying to raise in LA. We make the movie, and within a year, we're done, and we're screening it for the first time.
Congratulations,
Wow,
dude.
congratulations.
That's amazing.
So it was this crazy experience that kind of opened up my mind as to what I thought was possible. Like, I knew we could kind of do it, but I didn't know what I didn't know. Right? I didn't know what I was capable of. I certainly had a lot of reservations, but because I got burned on that project, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, nothing is worse than me staying in this position right now. So I just have to go for it and see what happens. And sure enough, like, we either figured out what we needed to figure out, or we found someone that knew how to do it. And every step of the way, it was just such a big learning experience. And now, for our next one, sorry, Gil. For the next one, I was gonna hire Gil to play one of the...
Oh, what?
I'll probably still give, yeah, I'd still work with Gil. But I think it just opens up my mind in terms of what's possible.
That's
I
incredible.
think it's fantastic, Osric. I'm proud
Thank
of you,
you.
buddy.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, DJ, can you tell me about your production company? What are you guys doing?
So about 12 years ago, Sharon Bialy, the casting director, she reached out to me and she said, there's a USC film student that I really like, and he wrote a short and he wants you to do it. And you should, because you've been given so many opportunities, you should give back. I read it, I met with him for like an hour, it lasted for 8 hours. We made this short, it won Tribeca. He wrote a movie for me that I'm now too old to do. And he's been writing, and he's always been close to having things made, and finally he's like, we should just do this. So we found a venture capitalist in Northern California that gave us $5 million to open this company. And we found a project, we're gonna make that movie that I'm too old to do, it's called Big Arm. And, but we were like, but let's try to get financing before that. So we started sending it out, and while we were sending that out, somebody saw one of our scripts that had been on the blacklist, and they want to make it for $7 million. And so, what they're going to do for us is that they're making it, and we love they're creative, but they're going to allow us to co-produce it with them so we can get our feet wet before we actually spend our own dough on our own project. So they're paying us to learn. So it's just really, and it really was born from, I am tired of my talented buddy not getting breaks. Because as an actor, it's really hard to do what we do, like not the actual job of it, in my opinion, it's getting the job, but I can do 5 projects in the space of time it takes somebody to write something and put something together, maybe 10 things. And when you have all these talented people around you who are not doing what they want to do, it's like, well, this can't be that hard because I know idiots who are doing this really, really well. So there has to be a way through this. So you just start asking people. Like my buddies produced the Umbrella Academy, and I was like, how do you submit a movie for financing? Like, what do you do? Like, well, let's go to drinks and talk about it. So you start asking people, and you're right, anything you don't know how to do, there's somebody in your sphere, like within 6 degrees of separation, that somebody knows something. So you're like, you know who knows that? John. I don't know that, Bob does. And you just keep doing that, and really the only thing, the hard part about it is that it's really discouraging at times, and you have to like, are we going to give up on this or not? We're not going to give up, so we don't have a choice. It's really cool. And also, like, as an actor, I don't want to be in my 50s and 60s waiting for the phone to ring. Like, I want to make my own choices, and also I want to do things that I'm not in. I'm not in any of the projects that we have on our immediate slate, and I don't want to be. But I still want to be an actor, but I just want somebody else to do that for me.
That's so cool. Congratulations, you two. That's awesome.
Thanks.
I think we're this side now, right?
Hey.
Hi. My question's for DJ regarding this season of the Gertie, Cass, and Sam. What was Garth thinking?
Oh, you mean the naming the children that?
Yeah.
It was just such a fun dig at Dean. I mean, because obviously Garth and Dean are closer than he is to anybody else who's still alive. It was just a really, really funny thing, and we read it. We all laughed out loud. It was really great. By the way, those babies are amazing actors. People say that children are terrible to work with. Those kids only cried when we weren't rolling. Like, it was pretty crazy. And the little girl who plays my oldest daughter, like zombie kid. Like, she's just like acting zombie kid. Like, she was like quiet, basically. If she was knitting, I wouldn't have been surprised between takes. But she would show up. Where is she? Where she's right behind you. She knows her line. She hits her mark. It was really, really great. And they wrote such a beautiful farewell for me. Like, it was just so great. Garth got to be the hero. It was just such a great, great farewell to this character that I love so much. It was great. And I always thought for me to come back, they had to kill my wife, but they found a way for her to live. Because I was like, he's never going to be able to come back and hunt if she's still alive, right? Because he gave it up to have this family. But, so he got to hunt a little bit, realized it wasn't for him, and also it showed Sam and Dean that there's a life beyond it. That it's possible to do that, and I thought it was really cool.
Hello.
Hi guys, my name's Jolie. So this question's more so for Osric, but if it pertains to you, please feel free to answer. So my favorite anime is Haikyuu, which is about a boys' high school volleyball team. And I was wondering what your favorite anime is.
Oh, Gil, actually, this pertains to Gil, for sure.
Let me take this, Osric.
Gil, can you name one anime?
I can't.
Any anime.
Horia. Oh, wait.
Oh my god.
I have a question. Wait, is Speed Racer anime?
Not one?
Is Speed Racer, is that anime? Is it Speed? Is it?
No. Wait, I think it is. Wait, is it? I think it is, yeah.
Is Speed Racer anime, yes or no?
My
Speed
God.
Racer.
Wow.
Damn it, Speed Racer.
Is Akira?
Go Speed Racer.
Akira.
Go Speed Racer.
Akira was dope.
Akira's dope. My favorite anime is Naruto. Like, I grew up on Naruto. It's a ninja. It's like Harry Potter but ninjas.
Yeah, right.
And I spent 15 years growing up with it, and it has some of my favorite themes that I actually like. Honestly, growing up, Naruto was my role model. He was my hero, and it's a weird thing to have a cartoon character be that for you, but he, do the run. Do the run. Guys, do you know the Naruto run or the anime ninja run?
My kid's a huge fan.
Big fan. Do it all the time.
So it's actually very practical, but you do that. That's it?
That's it.
So the idea is that you have your weapons back here, it's easier to draw, so it's actually kind of functional. But Naruto, let me educate you on Naruto.
Okay, how about this? I'll watch some anime if you take 4 drinks.
No.
Whiskey sours.
Exactly. 4.
If Osric drank 4 whiskey sours, what would happen?
I think I would just die.
What do I need to watch? Where they run like that?
Naruto.
I'll watch Naruto.
Naruto. We can talk about Naruto sometime.
So, Tetsuo wants my bike, huh?
What?
That's from Akira.
If Osric drank
That's the only
4
thing I know.
whiskey sours, he would probably get butt naked and go running down the strip.
Like this.
Who wants I want to see that.
Just swinging.
Just swing.
I'm running like this so I don't spill my drinks.
I let you talk behind too.
I like it when you guys do it.
I'm being generous, Osric. I'm being generous.
Thanks, Bill.
This is quite a microphone. Actually, let me choke up on this.
And we never were asked back again.
Thanks, Gil.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. All right.
So I already asked Chris a question, so this is for the rest of you. You've all been on Criminal Minds in some form or another. What was that like? And particularly for the two of you who played the bad guys.
What? Bad guy?
I was the first killer ever on Criminal Minds.
I was the bad guy. My first villain ever. Wait, what was your bad?
I was the killer. Like, I was in the pilot episode, I lured women to test drive a car, and me and my buddy put them in cages and tortured and killed them.
Well,
and I was the first. Wow. I'm the first unsub ever on that show.
That's pretty bad, but I smuggled fish across borders.
You badass.
It was a very oppressive government that doesn't allow certain types of fish that I smuggled.
Is that true?
Illegally, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that show lost its edge.
Well, no, because but you think about it, like if certain fish get into the wrong ecosystem, it could really be devastating to it. So, in fact, it's
Osric, it's totally hardcore.
It's
totally hardcore.
It's a really great evil, guys.
I'm the evil fish smuggler. Don't you ever F with me.
Okay, I'm going to mess up your ecosystem.
It felt really badass at the time, and I'm like, yeah, finally gonna play a villain. Gonna be a bad guy.
But you're a fish smuggler.
Yeah, but it's a no-no. You're not allowed to smuggle fish, and I did it anyway.
That sounds like some sort of pejorative.
My guest stars smoked underage constantly.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun until this moment.
What was the question? That was a lot.
When you die on the Emmys, that'll probably be the clip they use.
I don't know.
Fish.
A fish in his pocket.
Adam Glass, who created Henry Winchester, asked me to be on Criminal Minds, and I got brutally murdered and thrown in the ocean. And I was like, yeah, this is great. Thanks, Adam.
And your remains were eaten by fish that shouldn't have been there. Is that
basically?
That's right. That's right.
I'm pretty sure I saw
back in
Osric down there.
That's right.
Swimming around.
I think there's some dangerous ones for sure. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'd actually never played a dead body before, and then it was disgusting. It was probably some of the best work I've ever done, to be honest with you. But it's on my reel. It's just me floating there with no hands. They're like, oh, he's intense. There's a lot going on there. Yeah, Criminal Minds. You a big fan of Criminal Minds?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Actors typically don't like to play dead or coma. They feel like it limits their range.
Yeah.
I love it. It's what I tell my people.
You're a team player, dude.
It's a good day's work, that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. Originally I was going to ask Osric about Tokyo Ghoul because that's based on a book and it's really popular at my library right now.
It's a big anime. Gil knows.
And I just wanted to know if any of you have ever done something based on a book or
any
fairy tale or something that
adaptations?
you really enjoyed or...
I did The Legend of Earthsea with Sean Ashmore. And that was a super hoot. I was basically the Sam Gamgee to his Frodo. That wasn't that, but so it was a mini-series, and I absolutely loved it. It's a book by Ursula K. Le Guin, and it was an absolute hoot to shoot. It was a couple months and nice and intense, and lots of fantasy stuff. I love the fantasy genre, so for me that was great.
I got to play Prince Eric on Once Upon a Time. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I was shocked that I got that part, but it was a blast.
Why were you shocked?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm always surprised.
You're hot.
You're pretty.
Cast you.
Look like
Yeah, you're a pretty man.
You are pretty.
Come on, Gil.
To get to play Henry Winchester was incredible, and then to get to play an iconic Disney character, that was like dream come true kind of stuff. So it was really fun.
I was on Man in the High Castle. Philip K. Dick wrote the book, and that was really cool because Philip K. Dick is like his masterpiece, and he wrote my character. He made him up, and it was really cool to say those words. And then my first time I did that, I was in a book by Dave Barry called Big Trouble about a bomb on an airplane. That's supposed to be released September 20th, 2001. Yeah, it was a giant cast, huge budget movie, and it was released quietly after September 11th.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
That's awesome.
I love that project. If you're a big fan of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I love Douglas Adams.
I just loved how they adapted the book series into because they didn't do a straight up adaptation. They did in the style of Douglas Adams, and I thought it was so clever and just.
It was brilliant.
It was fun.
so good.
It was great.
Kudos.
Yeah, Vancouver show.
Yeah, man.
My question.
Thank you.
My question's for Osric, but DJ, I just wanted to tell you that Garth is the only character in the entire show that my husband likes.
Awesome.
Tell him I said thank you.
Is your husband here?
He's in the hotel room.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Have you just described his love for the show?
Osric, with Ray Palmer leaving Legends, is there any chance we're going to see any more Ryan Choi?
I certainly hope so. I have no idea. If you've read the comics, I should, and it all points in that direction, but what the writers do, I have no clue. I recently had someone from the show ask me when I was coming back, and I didn't know what to tell them, except ask them when I was coming back, because it felt like the question was going in the wrong direction. Does that ever happen to you guys? Like, hey, when are you coming back to the show? I'm like, you can tell me, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
Aren't you
about.
a writer on the show? Like, maybe you can write my character in? I have no idea. I loved my time on Flash, Legends, and Arrow, and honestly, I really lowered my expectation, because coming from the Supernatural set, like, it's such a, you kind of get spoiled, and I didn't want to, like, go into something thinking it was going to be this, and then it's that, but there was a lot of the old crew from Supernatural there, and it was like warm sets the entire time. So I certainly hope so. It is also back in Vancouver, my hometown, which I would love to spend more time in. So I would like to, but I have no idea.
Thank you. You want to take one more question?
Yeah.
Take one more.
My question's for Osric. What is your process
I mean, can't even get a word in here. It's ridiculous.
What was your process like doing the Arrowverse and then doing Kevin Tran on Supernatural?
For the Arrowverse was a little intimidating at first, because I realized very quickly that every single person in the room had their own show, and I'm the new guy coming in, so it was like very intimidating. I'm like, oh my god, everyone is the lead in a show, and here's me coming in with this weird beard, and so I didn't really know how to feel or how I was gonna fit in, but like I just made sure I was on my game like 100%, and everyone was very warm and welcome, and so much like Supernatural, and I wonder if it's the same for you guys, like Jared, Benson, they kind of like bring you in really quickly, and it was the same for the crossover series. Yeah. And you gotta, like, I really appreciate that, like when the leads of the shows do that. So I think if any of us, like if we're ever the lead in a show, I feel like we would kind of do that. It's because we've seen the example set and just that trickle-down effect and how it just affects everyone.
I'm gonna be a dick.
Except for Gil.
I'm just gonna be honest with you guys.
It's taking this long to get here. Screw everybody else.
Payback. Right, Robbie?
Yeah, that's right, Gilly.
I learned from you, Rob. I see the way Rob runs his career and the way he treats people on set, and it's like, that's what I want to be.
Learning from you, Dad.
Just a dick.
Learning from watching you.
Yeah. Learn it from you, Dad.
I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. Well, was that fun? Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, there you go. DJ, Gil, Chris, Osric. Thank you very much. Just the four of them. They just walked off the stage, just the four of them. I'm enraged. Just the four of them. I wish they were still here, just the four of them. I'm gonna shed a tear. Hey, thanks so much.